I'm back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you are. My name is Adrian, and I will be your host for tonight's edition of the Redacted Roundtable, episode 19. I am joined by my amazing co-hosts, Brandino Bambino. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? It's good to have you back. It felt weird without you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It felt weird not being around, so I am
Yeah.
very much happy to be back in the saddle, as they say. And Vaughn, the main man, how are you?
Good. The weather's getting better. Not this weekend, but the coming weeks it'll be nice. And Resident Evil Requiem is out, so I am dying on the inside to play it, but I am happy to be here with my men.
Such sacrifices must be made for the power of friendship, you see. But we will get this all tidied up, and then you can get back to absolutely eviscerating that game. I'm sure. So
Thank you.
yeah, so I'm excited. Is there anything anybody wants to put out there, state any just small happenings before we get going on the main subjects?
I do. I do have a few things. I'll save Resident Evil 9 for last because I want to bounce off of Vaughn, but I've been in a Night Rain Space Marine 2 loop, back and forth. I just want to throw out there, I have about 30 hours in Space Marine 2. I really am not being dramatic. I think Space Marine 2 is doing for third person what the Doom 2016 did for first person. It's you don't realize it, and the more you play it, the more the nuances start to click, and the more you realize you can do. That game is deceptive. It is very deep, like very deep. It's like I have a couple clips that I'm gonna put together to kind of highlight what I mean. So, like when they jump at you and it's like blue,
Yeah.
you catch them. That's an AOE. You can use that to push the Tyranids back. And then I'm using the heavy, so I'm doing like multiple stomps. But if I charge it up for too long, the swarm can get in on me, so I have to time it out right. But if I do a quick R1 and knock them back, I can do that quick max pain shot. And then I'm also catching them, so I'm pushing them back, slow mo shot, boom. Like it's a rhythm, dude, that just keeps getting more and more nuanced because it's being aware of what you're fighting and how to efficiently take it down. Because me and Nate cranked up the difficulty, dude. It turns into a whole nother game. Like it is white knuckle fighting for your life, can't breathe. Just I'm in goo gaga in love with that game for real. And like I was saying, it's got me watching Warhammer lore. I mean, I think it was my gateway drug. Like it's too cool. It's just genuinely too cool, man. It really is. I'm in love with it.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
it's got a hook. It's hooks in you, and then you'll start exploring just all the like just within the Imperium. And I guess you could be a disgusting Xena lover or a fucking heretic, but even within just like the loyalist Astartes, it's just you have so much variety of chapters in it because you have like the main, well, not 20 anymore, but the main like fucking 10 that still remain, and then they have like their successor chapters. So that's where you'll start getting stuff like how I talked about like the Raven Guard and stuff.
Yeah.
And but
They
then
they just released a skin for him
yeah,
like yesterday.
one of their successor chapters is my favorite chapter of Space Marines, is the Carcharodons. So pretty much and there's a brief lore, and I'll just let it go. I won't jump on it because obviously you're already in here. But it's like in order to essentially bolster the Astartes legions after the Horus Heresy, and even during, they would take the gene seed from like the main chapters and then make smaller chapters. It's how they got around like the Codex Astartes being like you can only have so many. They're like, well, technically they're not us. They just have our blood and our genetics and are genetically altered to essentially be loyal to us specifically. So but yeah, there's just so many sub chapters, and like when I was texting you, messaging you guys in our little group chat the other day, like about like the Iron Fists and stuff like that. It's like you'll find chapters that are seemingly unremarkable in terms of like whoa, wow factor, like the Iron Fist, but like they're just really cool. Just like another one as an example is like the Raptors, from they're I'm pretty sure they're another Raven Guard's successor chapter. There's a theme there. They just fuck. They're the Rational Space Marines,
Oh,
and it's just super cool. They're the only Space Marines that like genuinely use like modern military tactics. So that's like another one where
that's
it's like
cool.
they're unremarkable, but it's like it's super cool to see that done to an extreme because other Space Marines are like, "What do you mean you're using like can't like they're the only Space Marine chapter that uses genuine camouflage." Like
Mm.
they have like ghillie suits and they fucking paint their armor to blend in with the environment. And everybody's like, "What are you doing, you fucking pussy? You're not gonna fucking
That's
wear
scary.
you're not gonna wear bright purple and fucking." They're like, "No, we're in a fucking jungle. I'm gonna fucking cover myself and then try to fucking strike the enemy's position from like vantage points. I'm not gonna yeehaw my ass in there on a jetpack and could start fucking everything up. Like that just seems so inefficient. Does that not? So it's just cool stuff
That's
like that.
interesting.
You'll just find
Yeah,
smaller chapters. Some of the smaller chapters I think are genuinely cooler than some of the main ones, but there's just a lot of lore. And then when you start finding specific characters within those that you love, it's just it changes it completely. There's always something that you're finding and learning, and it's
dude. Nate's sending me Warhammer lore TikToks now. Like, dude, I'm telling you, since you've been gone, we are cooked on Warhammer. It's bad, dude. Like, but I also, it's interesting, man, because Warhammer also, or Space Marine 2, like the game itself, you load up to the main menu. It's not trying to berate you with like, hey, just check out our roadmap on what's coming in a year. The real game will be out. It's not everything that comes out is free. Everything that comes out is quality. The operations are sick. The difficulties genuinely just keep turning the game into something else. It's like,
And the stuff they're selling you like skins and
yeah,
like
cosmetics.
yeah.
yeah. So they do have that, which I'm of the mind. It's like it gives me the same feeling as Hunt Showdown. The game is good, and I don't need to participate. I want to give it to you. Like I bought the what was it? I bought the Space Wolves outfit for the Vanguard, so I have him with an electric or like a power axe.
Mhm.
And this dude's he's just a Viking. Like I'm literally just hacking stuff to pieces, and the enemies will try to teleport away, and you hit him with the grappling hook, and it's like, nope, come here, bow, bow, dude. It's
And
man.
I haven't purchased any of like the cosmetics. Do they add any kind of additional voice lines for those?
Yeah, you can get voice lines.
Oh,
And
sweet.
also, I found out. So you know how you can do like for the Emperor and all that. If you hold up and then hit R1, you have specific dialogue for that specific character class. So like my Vanguard character, he'll be like, "I wish to I wish to bathe in blood, brother, please." Like he's begging for bloodbaths. But I have most of my characters literally just as like for the Emperor, Crusades. Don't care about none of that. Don't talk that heretic talk around me. Nah. For the Emperor,
As it should.
um, as it should be. But also, there's a Bloodborne rally system in there. So as you're taking damage, so your armor goes down, then you're taking health damage. Kind of similar, not really Halo because your health would come back, but like once you start taking health damage, that's your permanent health. But it like Bloodborne does the rally system, and if you get an execution, you get all that back. They just, I don't want to say just, but I believe they just added with this update that came out yesterday with the Tech Marine who has like the Doctor Octopus
Mhm.
robot arms. Dude, he's sick too. He's got like a halberd.
The
So
mechanized
nasty.
right arms, yeah.
Dude, so cool. But they added a new stim pack that you activate this. So say your health is really low, you activate it, and it's just giving you rally health. So you can just start shooting people, and you're getting all that health back. Dude, it's awesome. Uh, I adore it. I can't wait to play it. I hope I play it tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Those are the Iron Warriors, sons of Ferrus Manus, first Primarch slain during the Horus Heresy. They
The
believe
horse. I know about that now. I know what
flesh.
you're saying.
They believe flesh is weakness, and thus they. I mean, a lot of chapters have Tech Marines, but I'm pretty sure those are supposed to be Iron Warriors. And yeah, their whole thing is like They're the one. Ferris Manus is the one
Is that
that I
like
said.
the AI stuff? The Iron. What
No,
were they
those are
called?
the men.
Oh,
Those are
okay.
the men of iron. Those are the men of
The Men
iron.
of Iron. Men of
Yeah,
Iron.
no,
Yeah.
abominable intelligence is most certainly frowned upon. Essentially, they just believe that like they're not like the Mechanicus.
Abominable intelligence
Yeah,
is such a crazy combination of words.
yeah, they don't believe in like they just believe the flesh is weak. Essentially, like they're
Yeah,
not like they don't do the
I mean
omnissiah
they're
thing.
not wrong.
Yeah, but that was like it's. I gotta see he's going down the rabbit hole, but yeah, it it's contrary to what Ferris Manus believed. He's the one that strangled the fucking liquid metal snake to death by drowning it to death in lava, and his arms became like colossus arms, essentially covered in the metal from the uh metal snake that he drowned to death in the lava. But there, it's ironically contrary to what he wanted because his whole thing was these arms are useful now, but they're not my arms. And his whole thing was being a great uh, builder and blacksmith. And he's like, everything I build with these hands is not truly mine, as I'm not building it with my own hands. So when this fighting is done, not only am I going to first, I'm going to figure out how to remove this from myself, and then I'm going to essentially fix my whole legion and explain to them that their humanity is what makes them special.
I vibe with that, dude. That's why I didn't really splice myself up too much in Cyberpunk because I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I'll be hardcore robot racist.
Then he
Hardcore.
fucking died, and then they lost their minds.
Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely be cooked. I'll definitely be one of the first to go because I'm gonna be fighting people like Adam Smasher and getting cooked. But
Yeah,
yeah, I I love Space Marine 2 to death. Like I really, it is a gem of a game, and it's also just raised the bar for what I'm thinking about for third person shooters, just kind of in general, because I feel like third person games have been locked in this never ending Souls game Last of Us loop.
Bing.
Yeah, it sounded like a gong. But like third person games have been locked in this never ending Souls like Last of Us loop. Where the camera's behind you, it's heavy and tight like Last of Us. We're trying to be grounded, you don't jump anymore for whatever reason. Or we're trying to do, Souls combat, and then you could take something egregious like God of War, which did both of them, right? Space Marine is almost taking the third person stuff, I guess, like the over the shoulder, but giving you mobility, but also taking it's not really. I wouldn't say it's not Devil May Cry esque combat, but it's hitting that same flow state and reward system that Devil May Cry gives me. Like when I make this one clip, it'll really highlight it where I like I don't even know exactly how I did it, but I made it to where I had three of those like dead eye shots all at once. So I was like, boom, punch you, boom, punch you, boom, counter this guy, slam him, Spartan kick him, zipline, yeah! It was like, oh, I just saw the real combat right there on an accident. I see what this can actually be. This is
Right.
not just stand in a horde and swipe. Like there is an actual rhythm of knowing which execution, which counter, which block, which to do at those times. And like even the axe has like a power stance. So if I land perfect parries, I can come over the top, boom, or I can do a quick shot right to your mouth. It's like, dog, this is my game. Like this is my game.
Well,
It's not me stupid hype for Turok, put it that way.
yeah,
Stupid hype.
even with our like fighting the boss, I can't remember the name at the time. They're fighting the Chaos Sorcerer. There's a scene in there. At least it worked out perfectly. I have to rewatch it on my gameplay, but it like worked out perfectly where I want to say you were down and Vaughn was going to fucking pick you up, and I just put myself between you, straight up ran in between them and parried his shit. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Swamp, parried his shit, shot him in his face, but the whole time it's like he was closing the gap, and I was literally slapping
Dude,
him, like
it's
actually
so good.
get the fuck back off my boys. So it's that's another part where it's like you have those special moments where it's like you're fighting back to back with your allies.
Dude, 100%. Yeah, I adore it. And they just added a new character class, like I said, the Tech Marine, and then they added a new operation, which is like a kind of like basically the Spec Ops from Call of Duty or something, like just co-op missions that are kind of secondary to the story mode. Awesome. But I digress. Space Marine 2 is amazing. And then we all kind of got that hook of Night Rain. It's so funny because at least me and Vaughn are like, I hate that I love this. Like, dang it. I can't believe how fun it is. It is so fun. It's genuinely just a ball every single time, and I hate how much fun I'm having because it gets under my skin. I get viscerally angry. Dude, me and Vaughn fought the final fight. I'm probably going to make it a video, just our shame. Dude, I went down, we're on like the knight aspect, who's the main boss of the game. And they're both hitting me, dude. I had no purple circles left. So which means they just had to like just blow on me and I would have got up and I had my ultimate. This dude had this much health left, dude. Kill this. Like, I literally jumped up. Mia comes in like, dude, the babies are sleeping. I'm like heart pounding.
The classic.
Horrifying.
I do want to. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm done.
I just say I want to clarify. My apologies to the Emperor. It's not the Iron Warriors. It's the Iron Hands or the Sons of Ferrus Manus. You're going to run into that a lot as well. Just be aware. There's going to be many names that are incredibly distinctly different because the Iron Warriors are Traitor Marines, Sons of Perturabo. So
you got that one.
Yep.
So yeah.
Every name memorized.
Trust me, it'll get there.
How are you feeling on Night Rain?
Me or him?
Yeah, you. I know that we'll give Vaughn too, but I know how Vaughn feels.
No, I had a lot of fun when we played. To be honest, I was kind of upset that I kind of slept on it for so long. I know we talk about this all the time, but it's FromSoft, so like honestly for me to, it's one of those you sleep on me, you take a dirt nap type of things. Like you were a fool to even believe I wouldn't deliver a high quality product, even if it's not like a mainline product. I think my thing was I try not to look into things too much as just like a thing. I like to try to kind of experience games as we've historically experienced games. Well, I guess, Jesus, at this point, getting old. At this point, we're almost more in the age of a lot of information than we were in the age of, hey, this game looks cool, pick it up, and then see what the game is like when you get the game. But that was kind of the thing where it's like I had vague concepts of what they were doing, but it didn't really make sense to me because I hadn't experienced it. And then I was actually talking to Matt about it in detail the other day, just because I was like, now that especially after we had that successful run and then we had the first one, it's like I understand how to play that game from the aspect of somebody who loves playing roguelike games. And like essentially there's the goal is to make yourself as unfuckable as possible, on a like your base level, and then you kind of just hope for the other items. So it's stuff like, obviously we want flasks, but it's like we always need to be going to the mines now. Like we always need to have no matter what, we always need to get smithing stones one way or another. That needs to be part of the game plan. We always need to be actively farming as we go, even if it's like going out of our way slightly to like farm up enemies. But it's like pretty much that's the key to those games, is hitting all. And I was happy to see that game, did it right. Once again, I don't know why I would have ever suspected they wouldn't do it in a way that fits the mold. So, but yeah, it's just like seeing that, it's like, okay, I get what we're doing here, what we got to do. I really enjoyed it. I want to try the other classes. The Guardian was actually what I wanted to initially do, but I ended up playing Raider after the first run through, when I found out you didn't have to like unlock characters, you could just play. So I loved the Raiders gameplay, and
Dude,
I think
he's so good.
and part of it has to do with like the last run I was doing in Elden Ring. I was literally doing like a dual great axe wielding barbarian. So it's like, obviously I didn't have the, fuck you, punch you in the face after taking a bunch of hit thing in that. But like even that, I got that pretty much down to not a science, but like I've gotten comfortable with using it. There are times where you miss the mark and you can take a hit for it, but literally just taking the stance, like I can get my full charge combo in, and then they're rearing up to do. It doesn't matter. I don't care. It's like I'm gonna, and I'm like, no, you're not. You're gonna hit me, and then I'm going to absolutely rock your shit. And especially when I get that damage one, like you take enough damage, essentially absorb enough damage, and I could like he starts, you can see him like smoldering. I'm like, I'm about to fucking clean your clock, boy. I'm about to.
I think on the
Shit
one that
up.
the one we won when we were fighting Morgott, and we stun locked him, and then he got up and you walked him down and stun locked him again. Dude, that was crazy.
Or
And then I'm parrying all his knives, and then this dude Vaughn is just doing acrobatics in the corner. Just
even when he went to go throw the knives, I don't know if they penetrated through me. I don't know if they stop on you, but like I tried to place myself, like I successfully placed myself, but like I said, I couldn't tell if they were penetrating through or not because I was so close to him. But literally just got right where he was throwing knives and then hit my thing. So I was just taking all the knives, just like
dude, that's
try
so cool.
try to stop them from coming through at you guys while simultaneously like, yeah, you're not my body is my shield and my shield is for my friends.
I was essentially just a Wesker with those knives, just like,
Dude, every single time I go down, I pan the camera and I can see this dude coming for me immediately. I'm like, I'm the hero. And this dude's already there.
Just go invisible.
There. Instantly. Dude, she's a cool character. The Duchess is sick. She really is really, really cool. Yeah, can't wait to play that too. Like, I'm in a bad loop with those two games specifically, man. They're scratching that perfect old school video game itch. Like, it just, and I was talking to Vaughn about this, and I think we might have talked about this on the last pod too, but because the enemies are so difficult, it's bringing out like a competitive spirit, but then it's co-op, and you get those moments to do exactly what we're talking about, where you get to be the hero and clutch up and have these epic moments where it's like you uppercutted him, boom, or I ping, ping, ping parried him, or you came in with the perfect save, and it's just...
Oh, there's a couple times where I was, especially like, I think it was against Morgott, even was watching you ping, 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 ping. Like, damn, you're getting cooked. You're getting cooked right now. He's cooking your ass. I'm like in the back, like,
so cool. It's so cool, man. Yeah, it's awesome. I love it. But on a real note, what you thinking of Resident Evil 9 so far?
That game is up there with Death Stranding in terms of visuals. Like, I was in awe the moment I booted that up. We're not going to spoil anything. We're going to probably talk about the first 10, 15 minutes of it, but there's really no story spoilers we're going to go over. But Grace walking on the sidewalk in that rain, she's like soaked and you can see it, and it's amazing. There's a segment where she's upside down and you can see like the sweat and like the blood pooling in her forehead and her, like, as she's breathing, her neck. Like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but this doesn't seem like the same engine that we saw with 7, because we were dogging on 7 when we first started it on the stream the other day. Like, you look weird, Mia. Like, really, really weird. Like, those teeth are chiclets. Your hair looks like week old spaghetti. It's gross. But this is just the office scene where everyone's walking around. Like, those models are nowhere near the basic polygon detail from 7. It's bonkers. I'm not too far in it, but the mechanics feel so good. Like, I don't remember 4 Remake feeling like this, and I also haven't played 4 Remake since it came out. You might be more familiar with it, but the characters feel heavier. Like, the physics feel different. Like, as you're walking, like, it feels like they're swaying. I can't remember if 4 Remake is like that.
It on sticks it is, but with Grace, I guess I'm comparing more directly to 7 and 8
Mhm.
because it's first person. So with Grace, I'm in first person, and with Leon, I'm in third person. Uh, her like, so I'm a few hours in. I'm decently into it for sure. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Like you said, the visuals are like nuts, but I would take it even a step further with just the direction, the way that the cutscenes are directed, and the flow of the story, and the overall tone and atmosphere and art direction is probably. I don't want to jump the gun yet because I haven't beat it, but from what I've played so far, Grace's part is perfect Resident Evil to me so far. It's like it's because I think it's the same director of Seven, from what I understand.
It feels very
And
Alan Wakey as well.
yeah, with the boom, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Because the thing that Seven, I think, really nails is the like actual horror, like
Yeah.
the disturbing, creepy, almost. It's got because it's got that Louisiana vibe, so it's a little bit more Western Texas Chainsaw, like early 2000s. This kind of brings that over, where it's weird because we were just talking about it in the stream. I'm like, man, the atmosphere of this, like walk around this dirty house or whatever. Applying that to this, it has that same feeling where it's like, man, this is hyper detailed. The atmosphere is crazy.
Super tense.
And like you're saying, when she's upside down and all that stuff, like their facial animations look. I mean, it's like Capcom stepped up the bar dramatically with this one. Like it's a whole new bar for Capcom, and like you're saying, the feel and everything. And then the opening part with Leon is super cool. Like,
I was hollering
really,
out loud. I'm like, this is insane.
It's they've they've done something special with that, and
It was so smart in how they did that
yeah.
Leon segment. Like the best way to introduce the new mechanics and whatnot is just
Straight. Yeah.
like shooting some of the enemies carrying like pipes or whatnot, and you shoot it, and then you like kick it up with your foot, grab it, and then throw it at someone. I'm like, that okay, Leon, we understand.
Well, yeah, dude, and like that energy in general, I think is kind of what's permutating the entire game. So the like this game has mojo to it in a way that I don't really think any other Resident Evil kind of has. Like
Swag.
it has a swag and a sense of like we are survival horror. Nobody else is. Like it feels like we're taking the throne. There's nothing left to talk about. Like you guys ain't doing survival horror like we're doing it.
You remember Resident Evil? Yeah, we do Resident Evil.
They do Resident Evil because like once I'm excited. You said you got to the part where he gives her the gun, right?
I'm just after he gives her the gun, and then you take control of Grace again.
Gotcha. So yeah, I don't want to. I'm not gonna spoil things. It's almost like they took, and this is just for me personally, from what I've played so far, it's like they took the exact things I love from 1, 2, 4, 7, and 8 and put them together in a way that I'm like, it's like you knew all along, kind of, or what's the deal? What's going on? You knew for like it's the exact stuff I want from 2, the exact stuff I want from 4, the exact stuff I want from 7 and 8. It's like this is crazy.
It's kind of
really cool.
It's kind of sad to say, but they're one of the few companies that understand their own franchise and know what people like about it and know what people don't like, and continuously bring it to the forefront with popularity and focus and gameplay. And it's super impressive. Not many companies do that. They either burn it into the ground or they abandon it. And Resident Evil hasn't done that yet.
Yeah, right. And there are I won't talk about what those mechanics are, but there are mechanics in there that I'm like absolutely in love with, even if it's like a subtle little thing. And like I said, I think as far as the Grace stuff goes, nailed it. Grace's stuff to me so far has been perfect. I have honestly no complaints at all. I'm still holding out to see how Leon's stuff kind of evolves and what that turns into.
Yeah.
But as far as dude, I mean, if Leon's stuff turns out to be good in the way I'm hoping it does, which I mean, it feels like it's going to, I can't see Resident Evil being done a different way. Like having these two smashed together, it feels it's scratching both itches, opposed to me waiting for the other. It's like this is perfect. This is exactly, yeah. I don't know.
It's kind of doing what we predicted to, like jumping back and forth as of where we're
Yeah.
at in the game.
I was so grateful that it jumped me to Leon so quick because that was so scary. I was like, ugh. And one last final thing, Capcom's animations are out of this world. That part right before where you stopped, I was literally in awe at those animations.
Mhm.
Like I'm staring at it, like this is. I feel like I'm in a movie. Like I haven't felt that since like a Naughty Dog game or something,
Yep.
where it's like the fluidity of everything looks like a CGI cutscene. The only thing that's giving away that it's gameplay is the crosshairs. This looks like that old Killzone 2 trailer. Like, you know what I mean? It looks incredible.
Yeah, like the prompts over the enemy's heads for like events and stuff. But yeah, I agree.
Outside of that, yeah, you turn the HUD off, it looks like a CGI cutscene you're playing. It's crazy.
Yeah, excited to sit down and poop sock that puppy for a long time.
Yeah, it's so good, man. Yeah, I can't wait to get like more in depth with it. We should do like a spoiler review cast kind of thing.
One last thing before we jump into the topic, just with Night Rain, we don't have to go in depth, but I just want to say my piece. I was also in the same camp as Adrian with it, where I was in the beta, and it kind of put me off the new mechanics and the Fortnite esque like enclosing circle and needing to rush around, but it got me. And that roguelike got me, and I'm like 25, 30 hours in already, and I hate myself because those runs aren't short. Like it's not like a quick 10-minute, well, if you fail it is, but if you're competent and you're getting to at least day 2, like those are 25, 30-minute runs, and time just flies by because you have your checklist. You know what you need to do. Your boss has a weakness. You need to hit the weakness areas on the map to power yourself up. You need to upgrade stuff. You need to kill things, and you have jobs to do. And it's scratching a weird itch that I don't like in myself. But that Duchess character is hitting that Bloodborne scratch in my brain.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Earlier, I didn't mean to like cut you off to where you couldn't say your piece about Night Rain.
No, you're good.
Similar to what you're saying about the Duchess, that's what the executor, whatever his name is. He's just Sekiro.
Yeah.
He's just a Sekiro character that turns into a big fox. It's like, look at this. Look at these guys. Just
I'll put this out here now. It's going to be hard for me to play a new From game if it's not this fast. I don't necessarily need the time-based movement, but in terms of the speed and the fluidity of being able to climb things and jump and run, that feels too good not to incorporate in some way. And
that was the first thing I noticed.
Yeah, I heard you. Dang, I'm fast.
Yeah, you're booking it. Like
you are
your anime 90-degree torso running everywhere. It feels good.
Yeah.
I think we're at the point in a From Software game where them removing fall damage would be totally fine with me. Like I don't need that anymore. No. Like it's not going to ruin my experience. You're only enhancing it by not having me worry about dropping from a fence high thing and getting hurt. Remove that shit. I'm done.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Even in Elden Ring base game, that was one of the things where it was like, not because a lot of the items that you like, the only value I saw in it was like item gathering and exploration,
right?
On places that had fucking a bunch of coffins sticking out down a bottomless pit, and it's like the items that you're getting 9 times out of 10 aren't even really worth it for the risk. But it's like it's not relevant. All it does is end up pissing me off and wasting my time ultimately at the end of the day, because it'd be different if the items I was getting were like game changers and it was like, yeah, you gotta do some risk reward here. But I risking my life for like a fucking shitty ring or a smithing stone, it's like
there are better ways to do it too. Like you can still have those like Tombstone-esque platforming things, but just make me fall to the ground and have to start it over. Like make the
Right,
platforming
right.
more challenging, not the risk of hurting myself enough times to where I just die. Like it's not fun.
Right.
I my thought process to kind of piggyback off what you're saying about going back to a slow from game. I agree. I don't think they are, if I'm being real, because it seems like, and I think this is the best way to do it. From just keeps building upon a concept until they hit a Elden Ring. Like that is effectively the Elden Ring is Dark Souls 4. Like all intents and purposes, that's what it is. It's the ultimate Dark Souls game. Now they're moving into multiplayer, so you have 2 multiplayer games going back to back. It's like it seems like they're trying to get that side under control to build up to something else. Because Miyazaki keeps saying like Elden Ring, he's like, I'm so glad that you guys like Elden Ring. It's not, it's good. It's not quite there. Then it's all right. It's all right. It's like Miyazaki, if you don't shut up, dude. Like this dude is ridiculous. But I think that is kind of what's happening because the little bits of gameplay they've shown from Dusk Bloods, it's fast. I mean, you're jumping off buildings and running, and it looks, mobile. So, yeah, it would be a shame to go back to chink, 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 chink. Like, oh god.
That's it for me.
Yeah, me too.
All right. If we are all set, what? Oh, socials. Yes, everybody, take a look. It's going to pop up somewhere in some way. We have our social links on the screen, so feel free to scan their QR code. Please go ahead and follow us. Hit all the notification things. We are trying to post a variety of solid content. More so just to appeal to whoever likes to see people enjoying games and appreciating the art that goes into them. And, by all means, join in on the fun. We do streams every Saturday. And obviously the podcast, we do it every Friday, but we release it on Mondays. So by all means, come and join the party with us. We'd love to have you and just love to see what you think.
And an additional thing while you were out, we now have a Discord server specifically for Redacted Roundtable.
True.
It is in the link tree, so when you scan it, it will be on the list. You can join that. We have a couple channels on there. It's still growing, so if you have any ideas, throw it in there. We're going to chat it up in there. We're probably going to have a dedicated topic channel in there, so if you come up with an idea for something you want us to discuss, throw it in there, and you'll see it make it on the show.
Hell yeah.
Yep, and keep an eye out on Fridays. Redacted Tactics dropped. As of this recording, the first Space Marine episode dropped. Check it out. Comment. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. Any input and feedback is always greatly appreciated.
Yep.
Even if it's just little quality of life things, I don't think you're going to see any of us be like, how dare you tell us how to do our thing? Like, no, we are looking for the input. We're looking for the feedback, and it is always greatly appreciated.
Yes, sir.
Grazie.
All right. Now with the shilling out of the way, let's kick it off with the first topic for today. So, with the recent Xbox leadership shakeup, what are the takes on the future of Xbox and Microsoft? I'm not sure. Was this your question, Vaughn?
I think so.
Typical.
It kind of happened as we were recording the last
Right.
one, so I can kick it off if we want.
Yeah, go ahead.
At first, I'm like, this is kind of whatever, but the more I'm reading, the more I'm thinking about it. This is pretty major because if everyone's not up to speed, Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond are gone, no longer with Xbox. As of the 23rd of February, Phil retired, and Sarah Bond resigned on the spot. There's theories about all that. He's been talking about retiring for a while. I feel like she left because she didn't fill his spot. But that's all rumor mill. We don't know for sure. but they added someone from an AI side of Microsoft as the new Xbox CEO. Let me see where I put the name. Asha Sharma. And they promoted Matt Booty to Chief Content Officer. So they are the new duo for Xbox. She's not a gamer. Not saying that you have to be a gamer to be in this space, but looking at Phil's history, he has been around for quite a while and did indeed play games. So it's a little jarring to see someone that kind of doesn't know the business, doesn't really know the inner workings of gaming, to then take this big Xbox leadership position. So people are freaking out about that. As of right now, it's still status quo. It's still way too early for anyone to know what's going on. But based on her previous employment records, her lack of knowledge in this space, Microsoft's push for AI, I've read a couple people have a specific take, and I'm leaning more and more towards that. I think they're looking to sunset the Xbox brand and incorporate it just into like Microsoft gaming and completely get rid of Xbox hardware. And they're going to use her as kind of the sacrificial lamb, for lack of a better term. And as of this recording, as of this podcast, we really don't know fine detail. So if you're listening to this and new mind-blowing details came out, let us know in the comments. Don't yell at us. No one knows anything right now. But yeah, I think they're going to use her as a way to transition away from the Xbox name, Xbox hardware, and kind of go the software publishing route like they have been for a while. Not only to save costs, but just to move into that AI landscape. And sad to see if that is the route to go, just with the brand and where it's been and what it's done for the gaming industry as a whole. So yeah, I think it's on its way out, and I'll be interested to see what they do in terms of software and that Play Anywhere and third-party publishing, and how they're going to try to recoup that Activision purchase. So, what do you guys think?
I mean, Brandon, you can.
Yeah. I'm glad you said it, because that's exactly what I was thinking. That she is the excuse to shut this whole thing down. Not even just because of her experience per se, but like, I mean, I guess that is the main thing. It's just she's young, she's inexperienced with the subject, and you're bringing it. It's, we say it all the time. It's like, oh, we're running a video game shop, so we hired the CEO of Conrad's. It's like, for what? They don't know. They don't run. It's a tire shop, but like,
and it's easier. It would be weird for Phil to all of a sudden be like, we're sunsetting Xbox, when he's been a champion of that brand for so long. So it's, like you said, it's easier to get him out of there and then have a no-name new face take the brunt of it and still get paid whatever she's getting paid. But like, be the bowling pin for when they roll that down the alleyway.
Yeah, and they've already been moving towards that. I mean, raising the price on the consoles and moving the games over to PlayStation. They're already moving in that direction. So there's just a part of me that's always like, just say what it is, man. Just say what it is. Why you gotta have her this, like, has she done like an actual public video of her talking, or is this just some photo of a woman and then a text? Like, she might not even be real, dog. Like, this might even just be like, yeah, and then 6 months from now, it's like, I am so sorry, I failed.
I haven't seen her make any statements yet.
I haven't looked for a specific video of her talking. I've just seen her initial statement that sounded very AI, admittedly. She put out her core focus, the 3 tiers of what she's going to be doing right away, which seemed very AI. Like, give me 3 staple points of the Xbox brand that people really want to focus on. and Copilot spit that out, and lawyers went over it with a fine-tooth comb and then posted it. She's worked at other places, so she is a real human being. She might be a robot, but she has human skin. So
the good robots do these days.
It's got tons of human skin.
Yeah. I'm shocked Phil Spencer didn't get fired years ago. Shocked. I mean, that dude, for all intents and purposes, sucks. I mean, let's keep it a beam. I mean, he failed for a decade.
A long time.
Like, I don't even understand what, like, so, okay. And then, like you said, the what's her name, Sarah Bond?
Sarah Bond, yep.
Just all of a sudden, you know, stepping down, retiring, whatever you want to call it. It's like, okay, well, obviously this is kind of
sudden, super sudden.
You don't need to. I don't think there's too deep of a conspiracy here. You just kind of follow, like you're saying, you follow the money. Look at what they're trying to do. They're trying to become a publisher. They're trying to move away from the console market as a whole. Like they don't. Yeah. It's very obvious they don't want to be in it, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It just
say it. Like you
just say it.
You have
like,
to lie.
Why even do this? Why even drag this out? Just be like, we're moving on. It's not working no more. Now you have to do this whole song and dance for. I mean, I'm sure there's reasons, money wise, they have to drag it out, meet certain contracts quarterly, blah 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 blah.
They'll never admit that the Activision deal was a bad deal. So and dancing around that's the tough part.
And that's the core thing. Is it's like you mean to tell me, and it's not her specifically, anybody. Her statement goals are to come in and apparently make IP that are as recognizable as Halo and Gears of War. That's a tall order for absolutely anybody. Good luck with that. And also, sorry, go ahead.
I'll just get back to what Xbox was. Like,
okay. Get back to what Xbox was. It's like, dog, that's just you're basically saying get back to revolutionizing the gaming industry. Okay. Like, yeah, I mean, that sounds good. That sounds really good.
On paper, it's like lofty, it's pretty words by all means.
Yeah.
I've said for years that they were going to sunset Xbox. I knew the writing was on the wall many, many moons ago. And probably put together a 10-minute montage of being like, Xbox doesn't give a fuck. And they don't. They never have.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I put more weight on the fact that she doesn't engage in games more than anything. And it's even more concerning with the background that she comes from, the AI-based background, because it's exactly what we're talking about now, even with the statements. What makes gaming for the most part, or at least a good chunk of it, is like the passion and artistry behind all these things. It's not something that you can use AI to understand. AI will give you stats and numbers, and it'll be like, people like this thing. Or even, and that's not accurate. It's not accurate because it doesn't explain why people quote unquote like a thing. And sometimes it'll completely mislead you into believing, like, especially when it comes to revenue and monetization. It's like, just because, there's a group of people that buy the shit out of, whatever the currency is for whatever game, that doesn't mean people like this. That doesn't mean. And it's part of a greater problem with the industry that people have been chasing that thing for years. But if you don't have any insight to it that would come with being an active participant in the industry, you have no choice but to just trust the tool that's telling you, hey, this is the thing. And it's like, that very much may not be the thing. So, it's almost worse than the apathy of not giving a shit and kind of just letting things roll out, where you're aggressively pursuing in the wrong direction. And I think that's kind of what that sets her up for. But I wholeheartedly agree with the idea. I think she's kind of she's just kind of a scapegoat for that eventual termination that I think the writing has been on the wall for many, many years. It's like a weird level of brand loyalty that I think keeps people from seeing that reality. And it's like, they have made statements in the past, and I know I bring this up every time I bring it up. It's like, they've made statements that, the Xbox really isn't Microsoft's moneymaker by anything. It's almost like a pet project type of thing, because they're fucking Microsoft. So they make so much more money off software that is in damn near everybody's computer ever. It's yeah, they don't particularly care about the Xbox brand. Losing the brand might save them money realistically at the end of the day. So
Yeah.
the moment that happens, it's like, all right, well, it's only a matter of time. So pretty much, they could have either turned this around damn near however many years ago. I'd say damn near a decade ago. They're going to turn this trend around and made the Xbox profitable, or they were going to get axed. And
yeah, that's a good point. The bring up of the money aspect in that before the Activision part, Xbox was almost under the radar for Microsoft. Like they were making enough profit and that thus taking money from Microsoft that they were under the radar. They could do kind of whatever they wanted and not really have to worry about it. And then the second you make a $70 billion purchase, then you're like, you need to start making money. And they just never got to that point. So now shit's hit the fan and you need to figure out how to clean that fan off. And they haven't done it yet. So it seems like they're cutting the blades off.
Yeah, sometimes it's better just to throw the fucking thing out.
Yeah. And yeah, just to kind of reaffirm that this is them sunsetting, you just and who knows, maybe we're completely wrong and maybe she's some prodigy that we just are unaware of. Maybe. That's, I guess, totally in the realm of probability or whatever.
Right.
But like, if you were taking this serious, you would get somebody like if they were like, hey, we're making an announcement, Shuhei Yoshida is taking over Xbox. Okay. Now we're having a different conversation because that's somebody who's tried and true. We know understands games. We know has been successful. It's like there's a track record. This is a serious person. And it's not that she's not serious, but it just, it's like you're basically giving her something on life support and
right.
allegedly saying, bring it back to life. It's
like, in a very short period of time.
It's a cartoonishly large lift that I don't know if anybody could do realistically.
Especially with rumors of their next machine being like a PC console hybrid and having multiple storefronts on it. Like, there are various other podcasts that have talked about that being just something that doesn't make any sense whatsoever in terms of making revenue and just overall, why would it's like buying an iPhone and then having the Google Play Store on it. Like, why would Apple ever do that? They'll just have the App Store on it and then isolate you to only buy things on that. Like, if you're going to get an Xbox 11 or whatever they're going to call it, and it has Steam on it, and Steam notoriously has way better deals on games than any other marketplace, why would I ever buy anything on the Xbox Store?
And I think that would be, I think making if they essentially cut the Xbox brand, and I guess like they technically could keep it, but I think if they kind of went the way of how they have the Steam machine, I think if they gave up on traditional console, exclusivity type of thing and made more something on that vein, they would do substantially better if they don't, if they don't completely axe it. But at this point, Microsoft, like all their stuff bridges over with the PC. And that's been like a major selling point of their products, is like your ability essentially to play your games wherever using a PC, no like remote play or anything required. Like you can access their storefront, and it's like you would really be better off going that route. But even then, it's like the cost of hardware production and stuff like that. It's like, is it ultimately worth it for that return you're going to be getting on that? Because there's obviously a major market for it. The Steam machine is fucking shaking the industry up. Just the mention of it is shaking the industry up. So there might be some profitability in that, but as it stands now, they're not offering anything special whatsoever. And I think part of that is due to their business strategy, which this goes back to like the Phil Spencer being a gamer thing and it not really mattering, because their focus was acquisitions of IPs and not productions of great, new it doesn't even have to be new IPs, just, fucking games that people want. Like they butchered Gears, they butchered Halo.
Put anything out. They didn't put anything out for the longest time.
And
Arcane. I'll never forgive them for what they did to Arcane.
everything they put out was hot garbage.
Arcane is a shame.
Yeah, they put out absolute garbage, and then did nothing. It's like they fucked up, and then instead of fixing it or trying to course correct, they just went, well, on to the next one. And it's like, no, I would very much like to see Halo fixed. I would very much like to see Gears of War fixed. And then, obviously, what you mentioned before, it's like now Gears is on PlayStation as well. It's like, all right, well then don't fix it. I'll play the good one. And now that I know I don't have to rely on you to play Gears of War, then I just don't care about you.
Yeah, two things real quick. One, I firmly believe that Phil Spencer isn't not literally not real, but I feel like he was never calling the shots, at least for the last 10 years. I think he's been a fall guy.
I'd agree towards the latter half of his career. I think at first he was, and then
I agree.
They realized the money you're making us bleed is too much. But
it's exactly what you're saying, where it's okay, we destroyed this IP, move on to the next. Destroy this IP, move on to the next. You can see that happening even not in the games industry. There's like a thing going on all over the country where these big corporations are buying up like HVAC places or plumbing places, and then being run by people who have no idea how to run an HVAC or plumbing place, and then they're upping prices, waxing customers, destroying their customer base, and then they're taking all the money they can and then shutting it down and moving on to the next one. It's like clearly the money men have gotten involved and they're making decisions because, dude, Xbox, I had to stop even paying attention to Xbox posts. These dudes are talking out of every side of their neck. Every day it's something, they're contradicting each other, and you don't really have a sense of who really is calling the shots because, oh no, Halo's definitely never going to come to Xbox. Halo's coming to Xbox, or to PlayStation, I should say. And it's like, okay, so your word means absolutely nothing.
They're telling you what they think you want to hear. They're telling you what they think you want to hear, but they can't deliver on the promises that they're making.
Yeah, and then the second thing is going from competing with Sony in like the exclusive thing and then going to compete with Steam seems like a worse idea. Like doing this half PC, half thing, whatever. It's like Steam just has a unshakable reputation that no one is going. It's like Xbox has a bad reputation, and now you're going to try to compete with the thing that has the best reputation in said place. It's like, dog, you might as well go out back and get shot and buried. Like, what are you even doing? Like, this is a waste.
Well, my thing with what I was saying with them making hardware, it wouldn't even be in direct competition with Steam. It would just be an additional hardware to facilitate Steam effectively.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I don't use them as a Steam machine hardware creator, and then Steam
does the software.
Assuming Steam does that.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
They're smart because they would still make their money. I don't give a fuck.
You could just kill them and just say no. And then you just dominate that quarter of the market.
And I'm not going to give any I'm not going to anthropomorphize a company and pretend it's a real person. But essentially, they've been, from what everybody's experienced, and obviously everybody knows the memes and stuff. It's like, dude, Steam they care about gaming. They ultimately don't give a fuck because they set up such a good business model with their selling of software that it's like as it stands right now, Steam is one of the most profitable companies on the planet, and all they have is the Steam Deck as a hardware system. So it's like essentially what they do now is allowing Microsoft to let people buy Steam games. So letting them make their own hardware, like let's say they put out the Steam machine, and then Microsoft puts out, the fucking a Microsoft Cube or whatever you want to call it. And they're still buying games from Steam. Like Steam's business model isn't really affected because like the Steam Deck is done well, but it's not done well enough to really be like a major factor in their financials. Their core financial gain is still people purchasing games off of Steam on hardware that is non-Steam hardware. So if Xbox just made more hardware for people to buy more Steam games off of, ultimately Steam wins one way or another. Like it would be no skin off their nose for Microsoft to essentially continue to do what they've been doing, just on a more affordable scale for people that don't want to invest into a high-end laptop or a full-blown PC setup. So, I mean, I'm not saying they're
Wouldn't
gonna do that. I'm just saying that would be a smart move for Microsoft because it was like now you're just focusing on hard because companies have done that historically where they just make hardware. Look at phone companies. There's tons of
so
oh god.
so say I'm Steam and you're Xbox,
Mhm.
and you come to me and you're like, I have this machine I want to make and have Steam on it. Don't I then have to cut some of the profit I would make off of the purchase? Like Vaughn goes to buy a game on the Xbox through Steam. Don't I have to then give you some money because
They
it's
are
on your console? Why would I even do that when I'm about to put out a Steam machine and now Vaughn wants to just buy from Steam? Why
well,
don't I
they
just
are
cut you out completely like the way
they
Sony's doing to Xbox?
they already do that though. They already do that with the creators and like uh yeah, just like game creators in general. And I'm sure they have some kind of deal with, you know, PC companies as it is or laptop companies as it is.
Hmm.
So it's really no different. The console wouldn't be any different than you buying it on your computer. You know,
Okay,
you wouldn't have to do anything different. These new hardwares that are coming out, like the Steam machine and stuff like that, they're literally just computers simplified for the layman
right.
so they can play PC games at home without having to go through the struggle of managing a computer or a PC.
Hmm.
So there really wouldn't be anything different in the business arrangement than there already is.
Hmm.
Think of those systems as a laptop. No different, except you don't need to do any maintenance on it. You don't have to get like antivirus or anything like that. You just have to plug it in, it works, it updates itself, and you can go ahead.
There's weird legal stuff too with all that. If Valve did decide to want to work with Microsoft specifically, it's think of Valve like on the throne, and Microsoft's the one coming to them asking for favors. Like if Valve would, in my mind, would really only need to utilize Microsoft if they wanted to have a channel for hardware manufacturing because Xbox has those avenues. They've done it for years. Whereas Steam, or I guess Valve, might not have the same sort of sway that Microsoft does for these sweatshops that make all their products. So if Microsoft came to Valve and was like, "Hey, can we get your official thumbs up with putting whatever Steam OS on this specific piece of hardware? We'll manufacture it, we'll market it, we'll distribute it. We just need your agreement to do it." I could see them doing that. There would still need to be some sort of contract with the split with money because there is the Valve developer cut, but if you're introducing Microsoft to it, there's going to be some sort of percentage there, which to your point, Brandon, is like, why would they even bother making that cut when they could just have more cut to themselves and figure out the whole manufacturing on their own? But there's like chip shortages right now. There's manufacturing issues, so it might be beneficial
That,
to do that for Valve, but we don't
Right?
know.
that's an
You never
interesting
know.
point. I
Yeah.
hadn't even really thought about the benefit that Valve could get off of Microsoft just on a manufacturing and distribution level. Like
That's the only thing in my mind that
that
they
is
would benefit from.
that is pretty smart actually, because then you would just not have to deal with all that, and you just make them do
Right.
it.
Yeah, like
And it's
Adrian,
Microsoft, so no better person to have do it.
like Adrian said, it's
It's a good point.
Steam is on Windows, so they don't have to do anything anyway because it's already going to be on it could be
Right?
on any PC already. So
Yeah.
it's Microsoft begging Valve, not Valve begging Microsoft. So
And
Right.
and you have to keep in mind none of these hardware, be it the Steam machine or a hypothetical Xbox, um, kind of PC hybrid thing that allows you to play Steam games directly on like a console. None of this will detract from their overall profit margin. No one that plays on PC is going to go from PC to these consoles. So it's like whatever Valve's profits are at right now, they're gonna stay there slash grow because Valve knows what they're doing. And this only serves to supplement their income. So like, yeah, like Vaughn said, with like the production and stuff like that, it's like because anybody that's smart, which Valve seems to be the only one with their head not up their ass for the most part, the manufacturing and all that is like years and years and billions of dollars. And it's like, so yes, there is a cut to be given to someone else, but ultimately, will that save you more money in the long run to cut them in so you don't have, because those manufacturing and those development costs are fucking massive. And so it's like, let's say we're making X amount of money a year. It's like, all right, yeah, I have to give them this much money a year, but I didn't have to spend $100 billion to figure it out to begin with. So yeah, I make a little less, but I also don't have. I didn't have to fucking essentially. I'm not starting 100 billion in the hole. I'm making immediate profit.
Yeah, we don't have to do the QA. We don't have to build the boards. We don't have to do the R&D for all that. That could be a Microsoft thing. We'll just sit back and we'll give you the software to put on that machine once you're done. We'll give you the thumbs up. Okay, we're good.
To put a little positive air out there for Microsoft and Xbox, them becoming a publisher, I think, is like awesome. I think that's like the best thing they could have done.
Yep.
And now even the thought of this, where Microsoft becomes the biggest, like pretty much the biggest publisher as a whole, and also is working with Steam. I mean, even just like them bringing back Ninja Gaiden and what was the other? Even like the weird stuff, like some what's the one where you're
Overdrive?
No, not that one. It just recently came out. You're like the girl, and it's like the Southern Louisiana kind of thing.
Oh, South of Midnight was that?
Yeah. South of Midnight, or the new Fable. It's like all that stuff is whoever was calling the shots. Seems like it was acquisitions under that. What's the words I'm looking for here?
Under that entity.
Yeah, of just like, hey, we know this is all going to come to PlayStation eventually, and we're bringing it back, and we're trying stuff. We're bringing Platinum and Team Ninja back together. Because they have the Microsoft money to do it. They have a little more leeway. So you get Steam and that and blah, blah, blah. It might suck for Xbox as a brand, but I feel like gamers as a whole would reap the benefits dramatically. It's like, kind of like what you were saying earlier, that the Xbox fan base, God bless them, but it's like,
the writing's on the wall.
It just is what it is. Like, you just gotta accept the reality of the situation.
And yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, I agree 100%. And I've been saying it for years. It's just one of those things where it's like the lost cost fallacy. Essentially, it's like, I've put too much resources in this. I can't give up on it. And it's like, no, that's why it is a fallacy. It is a poor line of thinking. Sometimes something simply will not get you a return on the investment. Sometimes you need to cut and accept that, yes, you guys dragged it out considerably longer than you absolutely should have. So the cost, you've actually sunk more cost and lost more money than you would have if you would have accepted the writing was on the wall a while ago and then just said, okay, we're done. It's Microsoft, the Xbox. In my mind, Xbox should have been put out to pasture a long time ago. They're not just their statements essentially saying that it wasn't something, with the exception of Phil Spencer, but it's like Microsoft as a whole hasn't really done anything to really push it as part of like their core, part of one of their core pillars. And that's for good reason. As much as I hate to, because you had brought up like the money men, as much as I hate anytime the money men get involved, it's like, I know it's bad when I accept that getting the money men involved was a smart move, because there is an amount of loss and it's like we've been talking about this whole time. You can only do something, fuck up for so long before somebody is expected to say something to you. It's like, it's like, if you don't, it's like, if you don't want the cops to come in and arrest you, then don't do crime. If you don't want fucking the money men to show up, then make money. If you're making money, they won't tell you what to do, generally speaking. If you're doing, look at even just, game developers as like, just the development side, not, a big company. It's like, no one's out there telling Miyazaki what to do. No one's out there telling Kojima what to do. No one's out there telling Capcom what to do. They're not doing it because they're making money. I have no need to tell you what to do. I have no need. But you're fucking up so bad with the Xbox brand. Yeah, when you're bleeding a company billions of dollars, I cannot fault them for involving the money men to come in and be like, "Yo, we gotta have a conversation. We gotta have a talk. We gotta have a talk.
For sure.
You're not doing the thing that I literally pay you to do.
Yeah,
Pay you to
they need
make
a
me
return on
money."
investment, or
Yes.
else stuff needs to happen.
Right.
Right.
I can't fault them for involving people that care about money when so much money is being bled. It would be different if it was like 1 or 2 games didn't hit the way they wanted to hit. This isn't a this game didn't do as well as we wanted it to do situation. This is a objective failure. You guys are sucking hard right now. This is not good. You didn't make $2 million less than they wanted you, but you really made like $2 billion. And they're like, well, I don't know if we can really justify this. It's like, yeah, that's scumbag behavior. But
Yeah, this
you guys
isn't
are
Square
just-
Enix. This is a whole another
you
level.
you guys are just
Right.
you guys are outright bleeding a company billions of dollars. Somebody's gonna fucking say something to you. It's gonna be AT&T. They're gonna reach out and touch somebody. They're gonna figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's all I got to say on that.
Yep, that's it for me. Everybody's satisfied.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, let's get to rocking and rolling. Little fun one. We'll split it up because so much pain in this world right now. What are some movies or TV shows that could translate very well to the gaming medium in your opinion? I started with Vaughn, so I will start with Brandino.
Cool. This is also my cousin Kevin's question.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, he I forget exactly what examples he threw out, a handful, but he had said like The Sopranos, and Dexter. And I was actually talking to him in Discord, and I was like, "How would you do those games?" He's like, "I have no idea. I just want it." I was like, "I feel it. I feel it."
Exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I think with Sopranos, he was saying like basically like a mafia-esque game, just with Tony Soprano and everything. I was like, "Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome." For me, weirdly enough, like 3 of them kind of came to my mind. Ash versus Evil Dead, I think would be perfect. Specifically, I mean, we brought it up multiple times, but like where the show ends, I'm just so eager to see that like Mad Max version of Evil Dead of him. Dude, I can see it in my head already, where they're whipping around in the car and Deadites are ripping around on cars, screaming and doing. It'd be so sick. Like turn that into like a Ubisoft game, and I'm all the way down. Like I don't care. Just let me run around and slaughter Deadites. I don't know exactly what structure I would want for this, but I would just kill for that show Primal to have a game version. I don't know what it would be, but the more I watch it, I love what I love about Primal is that it's there's no specific age it's taking place. It's just everything that is primitive. So somehow dinosaurs are with Vikings, with cavemen that are also with shamans, that are also with Egyptians, that are all, it's like everything is just ancient. There's no real timeline.
You could probably do like a Scott Pilgrim 2D beat 'em up. It's like
That's exactly what I thought. I would be fucking
animated.
down. I'd be super.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be cool. Because just super fun. I love that show to death. And then the last one, I was thinking this one could be almost like a who are the people that make Heavy Rain? Quantum, what's their name? Heavy Rain and Detroit.
Quantum
Realm?
I know, I want to say Quantum Break, but that's not it.
that's a Remedy game.
Yeah. What is their name? Isn't that crazy? Well, somebody can
I'll look it up.
look it up real quick. Yeah,
having bad memory is standard now.
Yeah.
In my life.
Really. I think it'd be kind of cool if they did like a Supernatural, like the show Supernatural.
I've been thinking about that quite a few times.
That'd be kind of fun. Supernatural. I don't necessarily watch Supernatural too much, but I inadvertently would catch stuff from it. What's it called?
Quantic Dream.
Quantic Dream. Okay, not Quantum. Quantic Dream. But I feel like that would fit so cool, where you're going through a story, and it starts out you're looking for ghosts and ghouls and spooky stuff and Bloody Mary, and by the end you're looking for Archangel Gabriel and God. It's like, what is even going on? And you're doing solving puzzles or whatever and doing dialogue choices. I think that would fit pretty good with Supernatural. Supernatural's I respect it from afar. It's cool. It's a cool show. But yeah, those are my three. I thought those would be pretty fun.
Well, that's I can go. I suppose. I suppose. I don't know. I kind of had it. This was a tough one for me. Partially because I don't watch a whole bunch of TV. So
Yeah.
like, I don't remember last time I saw like a really good movie. So I might get a little creative with it. My one big thing that I was like interested in. Do you guys remember like the old Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions game? Where you like, yeah, we were going through the different. I had that same idea for like essentially the Batman movies. A lot of the Batman movies, like not the modern, but like if you've seen like the animated ones, he has like a whole catalog of crazy animated movies, but just like in different ways. Like there was like the Batman Ninja one, where he's like in it was like a ancient Japanese type of setting, and everybody had like an aesthetic, like a Japanese aesthetic. There's just like the Batman Dark Universe or the DC Dark Universe as well. So that was like my thing. I think it would be cool if they would do something with Batman more like Shattered Dimensions. Like it doesn't need, more arcadey. That way, when the transition between the dimensions isn't as jarring, because obviously, the more in-depth the game systems are, the harder it is to kind of make that transition. But I would love a game like that, just kind of to explore the Batman universes. Because I'm not even a Spider-Man fan, and I thoroughly enjoyed not only the movies but that game, just because I thought it was cool to uh visit the multiverses of just the Marvel universe. And I think as much as people get frustrated with like the whole multiverse thing and a lot of stuff, I think if you're going to do it, you should utilize it. Don't make it a bunch of fucking cameos in different stuff where I kind of see it's like, and then all the Batman from all the other dimensions. It's like, okay, tell me about him. It's like, they use it a lot of plot points that anything that involves multiverse, that's one of the things where they just show you a bunch of cool tidbits of shit. It's like, okay, well, give it to me, big boy. Let me see what you got. What are you working with over here? Just, I don't know, just because I've always, that's something I've always wanted. I don't have the time. Obviously, I'm really big into comics as well as many of my other interests, and it's like, dude, I don't have the time to go through all this stuff. It would be nice if I got something that would at least allow me to engage with it, and just kind of explore these new universes. I think that would also open it up to the comics industry is kind of struggling. They have been for a few years now, but I think that would also open it up to other people, because it kind of draws you in. Like I said, the arcadey aspect of it kind of allows for a broader audience to kind of play with it, as well as you might find something you like, and then you could have collectibles with lore tidbits and stuff throughout that game, as a lot of games do. So it's like, maybe you read something and it explains what Batman, whatever future Batman or freaking robot Batman or vampire Batman, you can kind of go through it, and then all those things have published comics behind them, and then that's a good way to get other people into the comics hobby as a whole, kind of draw them in. My next one, it's kind of a weird one, because it does fall in line with like, I don't know how you would do it. I want, and I don't, for whatever reason, Pumpkinhead kept coming to mind, but I don't have a specific monster in mind. I would like another game that's kind of like You're the Monster, and just doing monster shit, like how what's the Maneater of that vein, where it's like, I would love, and I don't know, I like
destroy all humans, like you're the bad guy.
Right, but I would like it to be scary, but like you're the scariest thing. Like, and that's why think of Pumpkinhead, because Pumpkinhead always fucks me up. I think he's so scary. Such a scary design, dude. He's horrifying. I would shit my pants if I saw that dude. And it was I don't know, just the idea of stalking through like the woods during a rainstorm and like they don't fucking know you're there and you're like out there just doing some absolutely diabolical shit, scaring them, stuff like that.
Dude, you are speaking my language, dog. This is like, it's such a dry spot in the industry.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody wants to run and be scared. It's
Well,
like, dude.
It doesn't even like, I'm sure you could add a multiplayer aspect to it, but I would generally be down for a lower priced, like just experience like that where I can just hunt, it's fucked up as it sounds, like hunt people down through different story missions, because like the whole premise of it is, you know, he's a unyielding, unstopping, unkillable death machine that will only ever stop once the mission is completed or the person who summoned him is dead. And generally speaking, obviously for the sake of the game, you could probably add something where they somehow find out, but it's like if some dude in China wants me dead and summons Pumpkinhead, I'm never gonna stop him.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna find that dude. I'm never gonna get to him, and it's like horrifying. But it's just the idea of like you could put different settings, because it's like, yeah, he's just tracking you down one step at a time. Just it doesn't matter how far you run. It doesn't matter how hard you insulate yourself. Like he's gonna get you. He's gonna get you.
I'm not as familiar with Pumpkinhead, but while you were describing this, I was thinking of an idea being like reverse Dead Space or Alien, where you're on a giant ship that's interconnected, say something like a Resident Evil or a Dark Souls map. And the idea is that you start as the small organism, and the story is to take it over, kind of like that game Carrion, yeah, or something like that.
That game was on sale the other week. I almost bought it.
Oh, I got it. Don't buy it. I have it.
Good thing I didn't
Yeah. I gotta go back to that game, man, because it scratches the exact itch you're talking about. Like you're literally sitting in the ducks, growling, scaring people, tentacles.
Right, that's part of what spurred it, because that temptation. I was like, that game. It's a very weird, kind of niche, kind of itch to scratch. But there are times where it's like, I just want to be, I want to be. I'm always the threat, but I want to be scary. It's different.
No,
it's different than being like the hero and you're the
Mm-hmm.
threat to the evil guy, and then being like fucking scaring the piss out of people.
That's what's cool about Carrion is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, the Thing would be cool to do that, where you're that organism and you're assimilating people and gaining their knowledge to then try to get one up of other people. I think being the Thing would be sweet.
Yeah,
right, and even like
is kind of in that vein, but it's silly. But that would be cool, because there's so much like, and I guess I would lean more towards Dead Space than Alien in the sense, because you could almost play it out like you are the hive mind, so you go into this like strategy mode where you're looking all over the ship and you're trying to spread, but then you can take control of the baby to creep in, and or like maybe you are this like the Evil Dead spirit that kind of is turning this group of people into zealots to go take over the lunchroom, or that's come on, man. That sounds so fun.
Just end the show right there.
Right.
That's it.
I
agree with you 100,000,000%.
Right, and like I said, that one's more of like a stream of just thought. I was like, it would just be cool to have something. I use Pumpkinhead just because of like, especially with like seeing like the RE gameplay and stuff like that, and it's like there's something that is like just horrifying about looking out into, like, say, you're not familiar with Pumpkinhead, but you like they're in a cabin, part for most of the movie, and they're in the woods, and he's like just being horrifying. And it's like there's something so scary about looking out on a stormy night into just the woods dark. People that aren't familiar with the woods dark, it's different. It's a different kind of dark. And it's like being on the other side of that. So there's like that human fear of the unknown, and then you being the unknown. It's like these motherfuckers don't even know I'm right here. They don't even know I'm on the roof, peeking over the side of the roof into the window to see where they're at. And then I guess he does that in a few of the scenes. Like I've been watching, like I rewatched it not recently, but like I want to say a year ago. And there's just stuff you pick up on when you're not just being scared shitless. And it's like, oh, dude, there's a couple scenes where like they'll show his tail flick past the window, or they'll show him a brief part of him move behind a tree, like as they're talking, and no one acknowledges it in the scene. Which is not to go on a tangent about filmmaking, but it's like a subtle thing in a lot of filmmaking that I really appreciate, especially in the horror genre. No dramatic sting, no nothing. It's just like when you see it, you low key get just like a cold chill up your spine, like, oh my fucking god, he's here. Like no one said anything. No big violin going nuts. It's just, oh fuck, here we go.
There's a big untapped market for main antagonist games.
Yeah. And I like what you said about like, oh, his tail flicking by. Like that would be such a cool gameplay loop. The Evil Dead game does this, where when you're playing as the demon, the way you're generating power and points to get stronger is by scaring and terrorizing them. So there's like a skill to like setting the trap right here, and then they ran out. Like that would be kind of cool to literally you're peeking through the window to try to get them to see you, and then that generates fear, and now they're going crazy and blah blah blah, and you're just causing mass panic before you start conquering and dividing. Super fun. That Evil Dead game definitely was. It was tapping into some dark stuff for me when I was playing the demon. I'm like, oh, this is bad. You literally get them alone and haunt them in the dark. Like this is kind of
right. Which is, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know if I'd have fun playing this game from the other perspective, but if I am the scary thing and I know nothing's going to sneak up on me, I feel a lot better. I would like to engage with that. And I guess the last one is more of kind of like I think the setting has potential, but I don't particularly give a shit about it, and I want something to make me care about it. I feel like some kind of strategy game involving like Game of Thrones would be something I'd be very much interested in. I'm a big strategy person. I just don't care about Game of Thrones at all, at all. And I kind of want to, but I feel like it's just not necessary. Like that's why I haven't watched it. I'm like, nothing about this series appeals to me from a presentation standpoint, but I feel like its lore and its world are solid and could definitely be done justice.
For what it's worth, and this isn't like a ooh kind of thing, but like genuinely, the books are way better than the show.
That's what,
Substantial lot.
Everybody is saying, and they're different, and
they're very different. They're way more mystical and kind of like, even because I listened to the first book on audio, and I was like, this is sick. And I don't like the show Game of Thrones. I'm like, whatever, dude. Lord of the Rings is way better. But like listening to the book, I'm like, oh, dude, this is really cool. Like this is actually really, really cool. And my brother, he's deep into he's read all of them. He loves them. The only thing stopping me is just it's never going to finish. So I just don't want to be on that heartbreak with all the true fans. I'm like, I don't want to live like that. That's just painful.
Yeah, I was just talking to somebody about that with anime the other day, where it's like I won't even start one if I see like one season, and that was like fucking 6 years ago. I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna watch that. I'm not gonna do that.
Berserk's pain.
Oh my god. I love Berserk so much. Berserk is gonna finish, and from what I understand, he passed it on to the next guy down the line. It was concerning. But
you probably gave him notes though, ain't it? On like what to do. Follow these main points.
Yeah. So I haven't gotten caught up on the manga yet, but from my understanding is like it's going solid. So I have faith. We'll see where it goes. I mean, obviously, just a tragedy that he was lost to begin with, but it does seem like it's in solid hands, so that is reassuring. If the guy that's making Hunter x Hunter dies, I will fucking shit a brick. I will lose my mind, dude. I can't do this anymore. But yeah, that was pretty much it. And then just a kind of like a flip on its head. Just as a quick one-off mention, I don't want to go too far into the rabbit hole. I would fucking do horrible, terrible things for an Azura's Wrath show, just to kind of flip the dynamic around. I would
That's cool.
do awful things for an Azura's Wrath show.
That's really cool, actually. Yeah. They need to remaster that, man. They need to remaster that.
But yep, that's all. That's all for me. Fun.
I got 5. A couple of them we'll go by real quick, so it's not too in depth. At first, I was like, John Wick would be a great video game, and then I remembered, oh hey, they're actually making one now. So
I was gonna make a joke that was like, oh, it'd be sweet if John Wick was the thing.
You can take that off the list. I bent the rules with like 2 of these. I think a Matrix game would be super awesome nowadays with current tech and the knowledge of that universe. They did a couple PS2 games. They did some MMOs for Matrix. Mixed reviews, mixed popularity, but they did put out like a Matrix Unreal Engine 5 demo like a while ago, and that looked amazing. So
I had all those games. Not the MMO one, but all the other ones I had.
I love Path of Neo. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
It was super PS2 style, like graphics and corniness, but I loved it. It was so much fun. I was obsessed. But yeah, Matrix, if you could be like flying around as Neo and even doing side stories, like I don't even have to play through the main movies. You give me some new simple stuff, I'm down for it. Doctor Who, I'm a big Doctor Who fan. They've put out some Doctor Who downloadable games, nothing major, but the structure of that series as a whole would work so well in a video game. Like each show is isolated to its own like situation. They all connect like throughout each Doctor's lifespan, so there is a mainline plot, but you could have an episodic type thing with Doctor Who that would be like doing detective work and learning about all these different alien species and then having to beat them in an unorthodox way. I don't know why no one's done it yet. Come on.
Is Doctor Who like a new show? Do people watch that show? Like, yes. Yes. It was so hard to attempt to keep a straight face when I said that, but I think I did pretty good.
We did a pretty good job. That lasted way longer than I expected.
Dude, I was trying so hard. I was fighting for my fucking life over here. I was like, God damn it, what?
Break. Please break.
Please break before I do.
Yeah, it's kind of fallen off. Like not to agree with you on that because I love that show, but the most recent series kind of hit a roadblock with a lot of fans, so kind of waiting on that to pick back up. But yeah, a game would be fantastic for that. I think one that we would all agree would be sick would be Blade.
Oh, dude.
They are working on a Blade game, but it's kind of in a limbo, so we kind of don't know what's going on with it. But give me some gameplay of that, because that trailer looked wonderful.
Show me it's happening realistically. Like, yeah, gameplay would solidify that its existence just in the time of uncertainty that we're in. Because I mean, the Blade movie got axed. The new movie they were making that got axed. So it's like, I think
they're still working a script in some form or fashion with a new actor or something. But as of now, we don't know anything going on with Blade as a whole.
Well, a tall order to follow.
They had the one guy, and I guess they had been shooting, but then that whole project with him in it got axed. So as of right now, they're like, yeah, we might kind of continue on and try to play off what we got, but they did want to
do a Blade, but we got to find the right time for it. Like, okay, sure,
fucking,
whatever that means.
But I was gonna say, what does that even mean?
You're Marvel. Make time.
You have time for all this other boof. You have time for She-Hulk and Megan Thee Stallion to twerk all over the place, but you don't have time for Blade. Okay.
Just, I won't go down that. I won't go down that rabbit hole, but yes, I will just simply agree. Make fucking time.
At the bottom of that rabbit hole, I'm down there seething with hatred. Just bitter.
And go ahead.
I was just gonna say with Blade, yeah, because it's Arcane doing that,
Yep.
and it's third person. I will be bummed if that one doesn't come out, dude. That sounds so perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Arcane third person Blade. Come on, man.
Yep.
Come on, man.
That's all I gotta say.
And my last one doesn't necessarily have to be specific to this movie. I think there's an untapped market for this as well, but I think Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter would be a sick game.
Oh,
What a
And
good one.
and
yeah.
my preface to that being do more alternate history type things. Like give me some influential leaders long past and just have them do alternate history type stuff, like George Washington or any person around the world. Doesn't have to be US. Just them doing stuff that is just sci-fi or otherworldly would be so easy to do because you have a general blueprint for their life. Slip some things in between major historical events, and you
Right.
got me. You got me.
Like you have like Nikola Tesla, and he's like inventing stuff, but like you could add like Knights of the Round Table in there, and I don't know, they're fighting fucking werewolves or something. Go over the burning of London. Fucking, if only there was a game like that.
With
It
an
would
order
be-
of knights.
It would be super cool, super fucking cool. I hate it here.
Yeah.
I hate it here. The Order was a good game. I can't stand you people.
Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer would fit the Space Marine mold perfectly.
Oh yeah.
Perfectly. Just getting swarmed by. You know what else would be a good one to throw out? With kind of your idea of being the monster, even though this might be pushing it a little bit, it would be, well, two of them just came to my mind. Like 30 Days a Night or Tremors.
Yeah, you pushed it too far.
Yeah, 30 Days a Night. Those are evil vampires, dog. Those are super scary.
That reminds me of a game. I think it's called like Vampire Rain.
Mm-hmm.
And that game sucked ass.
Big time.
It was
Is that the red-haired girl?
No,
That's
this
Blood
one.
Rain.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
okay.
is a Xbox 360. I don't know if it was on PS3.
I don't think so. No.
But essentially, it was like a stealth game. But it was if you
So
got
bad.
caught, you were just immediately fucked. It was super janky, super bad. My grandma bought it for me for like Easter one year, and I was super pumped to play it. Complete booty water. But like 30 Days of Night would be of that vein. So like you'd have to find a way to kind of balance it. Like yeah, if you were playing as the vampires, if you were playing as the vampires, it would be somewhat doable. But it's like in terms of like I feel like if you try to make it from the human perspective and make it anything reminiscent of the comics and or movies, it's like, I mean, let's be honest. If you're not a main character, you're getting fucked up. You are having an incredibly bad time, and it's just there's nothing you can really do about it. But yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off on, but the alternative history thing. It's like I fully agree. It's just it's an untapped market because it's like it's alternative history. Somebody's going to be offended by something, but it's like realistically, if you are, you're just a fucking dolt.
It's a game,
dude. George Washington, the Sasquatch Hunter. Come on,
dude. That's I. The first thing he said when he said that was
Amazing.
George Washington, and I would need perfectly rendered, gross donkey teeth dentures.
Dude, imagine he's leading the Sasquatch hunt and he's wide or extinct. Like, because only that big mofo would do it. He's just out there.
Let's even one better. Even one better. It's like fucking George Washington, like Sasquatch savior, and really what it is the British are encroaching upon like the natural wilderness, and that's part of why we won the fucking American Revolution is because George Washington rallied like the Sasquatches and other like fucking fey creatures. So when he's crossing the Delaware, we're crossing the Delaware, but like it shows like that picture of him on the boat, but then it like opens up and there was actually more to the picture, and there's like a couple more boats with fucking Sasquatches like hanging from the masts.
Or they're on the other side, like pulling a rope to get him across there faster.
Right. They're swimming faster than he can get over there.
It shows
It's
an
like,
underwater thing, and they're like
that-
pulling the boat underwater.
Right. That's why we won. Everybody's like, man, that's a crazy underdog story. I don't know how they pulled it off. It's actually because we had fucking Sasquatches with us.
The secret room behind Mount Rushmore is actually a real thing, and that's where the headquarters is at.
That's awesome.
Right. There's just one or two. There's like a handful of hyper intelligent Sasquatches. You know, they're actually super duper smart.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I choose to believe this is canon now.
I'm down. I mean,
I like it.
I mean, they would be the original Americans, so it's still fucking USA all day, baby. I'm still here for it.
That's it for me.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
No, we need to get this ball rolling, and then we can just make our own studio and just do cool, stupid shit all the time. I'd be super down for this. I don't care.
I would. You have no idea the stupid ideas I would love to make into a small indie game.
I would give all the people what they want all the time.
Yeah, literally.
Okay, now that we have cleansed our palate with a little bit of happy, satisfying thought, the third question for us today is, how do we feel about the Bluepoint closure? What does this allude to for other remastered projects?
This was another recent happening that is almost, we know even less about this one than the Microsoft one, which is saying a lot.
I couldn't find shit really about it.
Sony hasn't made an official announcement. It was all,
I don't think they will.
God, that's crazy.
I think if they do, it's going to be something incredibly vague, like the shit they've said so far, which is effectively like, the economy. Pretty much effectively what they hit you with is, people and money and the industry and the space.
We just don't got it.
Yeah, exactly. And I almost don't want to hear it. Like, I want answers, but I know you're not going to give me answers. I know you're not going to fucking give me answers. I know you're not going to tell me that you fucked up the financials doing whatever silly nonsense you were doing, and these guys got cut loose because of it. These guys got cut loose because you were bleeding money, and even though they were making you money, they were making you more money than everybody else, but they're just straight up collateral. Not everybody else, but they're making you money than other people. And it was like, well, we got to cut somebody. It's like, well, we can't cut a major studio. So I guess we'll cut these guys off. And it's like, you fucked up. You fucked up.
And there's so many rumors going around right now. It's hard to parse through what might be true versus not. And it's the internet, so it's spreading like wildfire about things that may or may not be true. Like, there were talks about them pitching various things and Sony saying no. There's something I read today about them pitching a Bloodborne remake early 2025, and Sony was giving the thumbs up for it, and then From Software put the axe to it. Ignoring the rumors and just looking at the bare facts from this side of the fence, it's like, why would you cut a studio that could make you so much money for so little input? So little input financially.
Yeah, from you.
It was a team of 75 to 100, maybe a little more, and you have such a rich IP pool to pick from that you could just have them do that forever. Not to say that they would want to do that forever. They could branch out and do something unique after some success, but why not? You specifically bought this team for that sole purpose, and then supposedly you put them on a God of War live service game, and then you cancel it, and then you cancel them. Like, that's some shit right there.
Right. And I want to clarify, because or at least put it out there, because Bluepoint is a team of legitimate developers. A lot of people look at them as like the remaster people, but they're skilled developers that have been in the industry for a long time that chose to do remasters. So like the idea of them moving to another project, like a original project, is like not out of the question. But I think, especially being in a situation like Sony's, like if your financial situation was one that was so shaky, effectively pulling somebody out of what their general wheelhouse is right now at this moment was a terrible idea.
Yeah, why would you do
Um,
that?
no, yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's like you now's not the time for risk taking. um as much as I'm all for trying new things, it's like there is just such a thing of a middle ground where it's like I'm cognizant of financial responsibilities and risks associated with those, and it's like you guys, it seems like you guys, instead of capitalizing on the profitability of what they have proven. And this is not to say that they weren't doing a good job on whatever they had them working on before they got axed, but it's like you should have, if anything, you should have encouraged more production of stuff to make profitability. If your concern is, if that's essentially the long and short of what they were saying in the half a statement that they made, was that it came down to money and shit like that. And it's like, well, if that's the case, then why would you do something that would cost more money and not get you a return as quickly? um to answer the question of how, oh well, first and foremost, I think it's pretty clear. I think the closure is absolute bullshit. They were collateral. Now all those people have to suffer and figure it out. Where I am confident that they will recover, because as I stated, they're all pretty uh, skillful developers in on the scene. It's just shitty that they're going to have to essentially regroup and recoup. And what's shitty is the shittiest part is them breaking apart the studio will kind of force that team in different directions. That's one of my biggest issues when stuff like this happens. A lot of people are like, no big deal, it's whatever, they'll kind of come back, they'll bounce back, but it's like that's not how essentially losing a job goes. Like if a company shuts down, hundreds of people aren't going to go, all right guys, we're all going to go do this. It's like they might make a new some of them might move on, some of them might make a new studio, but it's like there's a large percentage that at least 50% of those people aren't going to come back. And 50% is being quite generous. A very small portion of that team is going to recoup. And not to say they won't be able to make games as they've done so far. It's like you really have broken up a team that has incredible synergy. And now they're not really going to be able to regroup because they don't have time to wait. They're people. They're employed at your company. They need to seek employment to feed their families, so they don't have time to wait for somebody that has the means at the company at Bluepoint to start another essentially Blue. And I think this is going to, or it should. I think for the remaster companies that focus on remastering, I think they're not gonna. If they're smart, I think they're gonna do what they. It's hindsight 50/50, but or 20/20, whatever, what, well, you know what I mean. But uh I think it's going to encourage them to not allow bigger studios to buy them. It seems like it only adds more red tape, just kind of what you were saying with first it was Sony, then it was FromSoft. It's like if I'm that company specializing in that form of game development, then I would rather have, one green light than two.
Yeah.
It makes it just that much easier to get projects off the ground. It makes it that much less red tape that I got to go through, that much less oversight. And then I'm not directly tied to the financials of a company who's got way more shit going on than myself, because my job could be at risk. They are the perfect example. They did their job perfectly every time. Perfectly. They did not fuck up. Somebody else fucked up so hard that it fucked them. So I think most companies will try to stay independent, and not tie them. And I think most companies really should. I get it. The appeal of being under that larger umbrella is nice, but I think these bigger companies have shown a level of unreliability and lack of loyalty and ruthlessness that I personally would be like, no, I'm I'm not going to be the one that gets cut loose. You know what I mean?
There's no longer security in that umbrella anymore. And
Right.
that used to be the selling point of being acquired by one of these big publishers or big companies. Is like, oh, our future is solidified in some form or fashion because we're under this umbrella. We have revenue from them to make what we want to make. But with the number of studio closures in the last 5 years, like that doesn't exist anymore.
Right. And as I stated, you can't get it back. Now
Yeah.
you'll never get your company back in the way that you had it before.
And we know so little about the inner workings of this, and with there being no official announcement, we don't know how many of those developers are moved to other internal Sony dev teams. We don't know how many people are relatively new that might have relocated for this dev team and now have to figure out what they're going to do to live. The dev landscape out there isn't what it used to be, so it's not like any group is looking for this many people to work on a game. So I feel for him.
Right. Brandon?
I I have a lot on this. I guess to start, Bluepoint is a great studio.
Yep.
They're a great studio. Exactly what you said. They did their job. Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls are excellent. Demon Souls could be a PS6 game.
Mhm.
It is still better looking than anything else, and that was the goal. And like you said, you have such a large amount of IP to pull from. This is a perfect team to have constantly churning. There's no excuse for you not to have a beautiful Shadow of the Colossus Demon Souls-esque remake every couple years of Infamous, of Ratchet and Clank, whatever it does. It doesn't even matter. Pick a game. I think I think this is more indicative of a larger issue with Sony as a whole. I think they're losing the plot. I worry for Sony because you go down the line of everything they've done in the last handful of years. You have what they did with Bungie, Fair Games, Concord, The Last of Us. I think we had talked about it. You can't say the excuse of, oh, it's going to be a few years before Bluepoint drops something. It's like Media Molecule has not dropped anything. Media Molecule is basically the Long John Silvers of Sony. Like they're a launderer or something. They're not even real. I don't even know why you guys are still open.
Studio Bend hasn't done anything in a while either.
Nobody's there, yet somehow you're still open for 10 plus years without dropping something. And it's just Sony right now, and for the last, and maybe I'm wrong on timeline. I'm not exactly sure, but it seems like now that Ghost of Yotei is out, now that Death Stranding 2 is out, we're in the end of whatever was in development during COVID. What's coming? What's coming? What is the game plan? What is your guys' vision? Because all I've seen is you fail, and close stuff down. Everything that you had planned has been shut down. You guys are beyond lucky that the third party's killing it right now. You're beyond lucky that Xbox is failing right now. Because we'd be in a totally different conversation had those two things not be happening. You'd be sweating. You'd be sweating hard. It seems like, and this is just my opinion, Sony needs to get its nuts back. You guys are too complacent. You're too comfortable. It's like everything is safe. You don't communicate with your fans anymore. It's like the money men have taken over, and they have so much money that they can kind of act like this, but I don't think they can dance this dance for much longer. I think Bluepoint is like an example of the good guys just got done dirty in public, and everybody knows it. They didn't deserve that. It's like a morale breaker. And granted, you have like the Lords of the Fallen devs that are like, hey, yo, come over here. Obviously, you guys are dumb talented. Everybody knows it. You put them on an online God of War game, why would you ever do that? That's so stupid. That makes no sense whatsoever. It's just this. I've said it to you guys before. Like I worry about Sony, and this is just another example of like you guys are losing the plot. Bad, really bad, and it bums me out because like I adore PlayStation to death, but it's like no one's too big to fail, and things can turn on a moment's notice out of nowhere. And I don't know if I don't know. I don't think they're realizing what kind of morale shift this is going to put in the air about them.
It's the curse of the odd number system. They've filled this thing every single time. They did it with 3, and then they're like, they got humbled with 4, and it did well for them. And now 5's around, and they were humble at first, and now that the tides have shifted in their favor, they're back to big-chested, ignorant Sony, and they need to course correct soon, because we're in a gaming landscape that doesn't last like previous generations did. Like, this money isn't a guaranteed thing anymore.
No. They better get it figured out before the Steam machine drops. I'll tell you that.
That's kind of what I'm ultimately getting at. Is it's you guys can ride this wave right now while there's it's quiet, but there is a war on the horizon. Like, it's coming. So it's just, and that's not to say Steam's going to come in and demolish Sony or anything like that, but you cannot have this happening. And let's just say, I know the rumors are that the Steam machine is going to be like $1,000. We don't know what the PS6 is going to be. They're saying it's going to be cheaper, but ultimately we don't know what these prices are.
We also don't know where the release dates are, because even Valve is wary on having the chips available for their Steam machine. So I think every company's on the edge of their seats with figuring out when these new machines can come out.
Yeah, because at least for me, and I'm sure absolutely everybody who plays video games, at the end of the day, it's about the games. And if you're not going to put out, if there's Sony's main thing was always that they had God of War, Last of Us, all these like high quality, those are the things. Those are becoming fewer and fewer for a multitude of reasons. But the number one reason you don't need that happening is mismanagement. That is not the reason you need, like, economy and market and this, 100%. That's happening to everybody. But you guys just being cowards, which is what I smell in the air for the last handful of years, if I'm being real, like, have some
like bitch in here.
It does. Like, have some nuts. Like, when you guys were hungry in the PS3 days, look at all the cool stuff you created, all the cool IPs. PS4, you were humble. Now that you guys are filthy rich, you're scared? No, that's not how that works. Like, you're going to bite the bullet, and I really hope that they get it figured out before the bullet comes.
I've always detested their lack of vocal anything about anything ever. Even when shit's hitting the fan and the PlayStation Network was down, they really didn't talk too much about it. They said they're aware of it and working on it, and then at the end, everything's good. And I'm not asking for announcements every week or communication from higher ups every week, but something during the year, like something every quarter, maybe, like here's our plans for end of 26. Here's our plans for 27. We don't even need to hear your plans, just kind of where your mindset's at with the company. Like, people are interested in that. People aren't going to sit on your business calls like other people tend to do and leak all that information. Have someone that can be a face of your brand and talk to us like human beings and keep us in the know of what we're paying money into. And that'll satiate a good chunk of people.
And that kind of just shows the like hubris, arrogance that they got going on, because that's standard business fucking practice. That's a standard practice, and it always has been across almost all industries. It is expected that you give that kind of information, especially in a very like customer driven industry like this, where it's optional. It's an entertainment industry. It's not like I don't need the people that make my toilet paper to come out and explain, what their plans are, because I need to wipe my ass, but I don't need to buy your games. And so it is very highly expected that you call me spoiled it's expected that you can communicate and tell me things and keep me in the loop and in the know, because if you're not, then A, I could stray elsewhere, and B, it just like to me personally, and it's like obviously we're a specific type of person who is hyper aware of what's going on. It's like to me, it's just saying that you think you have me locked in no matter what, which is something on any aspect of life that I take direct, I don't know if offense would be the word, but I take issue with that. Like I absolutely will go somewhere else. I already have done it once. I played Xbox my entire life until Xbox started letting me down and I jumped ship to the PS4. Like I will leave. I don't give a shit. I if you fuck around and the Steam machine comes out and it is, superior,
Objectively better.
I
Yeah,
will jump ship. I would hate the idea of, not, leaving work undone. I'll keep a PS5 just so I can, because I still got a backlog to clear through. But if you don't think I won't jump to something as my primary gaming system, I also had a backlog on my Xbox, and I can't even remember what it was at this point. I will leave and I will get over it.
yeah. That it's just like, and obviously exclusives aren't going to be the only thing that's driving it, but as far as that's been your brand for so long, is that you're only going to get these type of games. We're pushing it only here, and can they get away with a Ghost of Tsushima 3? Can they get away with another Death Stranding? I mean, not that these games are bad, but there becomes a point of like we're waiting 5+ years to still be in the same franchise. I will be almost 40 still playing the same franchises.
Mhm.
That's dystopian. Like that's no. I love these games to death, but it goes back to what we were saying before of like, shorter dev cycles for smaller concise games, blah 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 blah. Once again, it circles back around to, but I smell cowardice in the air at the same time. So
Yeah.
like that part rattles my cage. Like, yeah, this Bluepoint thing I think has maybe more of a, and maybe it's just me, maybe it's hitting me harder, but I feel like it's going to have more of a cultural impact than maybe people realize.
I haven't seen a collective gaming community be so negative in unison as this in a long time. There was really no divide. There wasn't people in agreement and disagreement. Everyone was in disagreement with what happened, and I poo-poo on the gaming community all the time, but this time I'm like, okay, maybe there's a redeeming factor to you mouth breathers, and you understand at least the shitty nature that Sony is going about with this. It's just like it boggles my mind, the fumble with this. I don't want to say it was easy money, but like we've said in the past, it's generally easy money that they could have just had rolling in constantly with this high quality group that knew what they were doing and they knew how to make things better from their original state.
You had a team that was making remakes at the level of Capcom, effectively.
Yeah.
Maybe not on a gameplay where you're changing gameplay, but like if the goal is to have Shadow of the Colossus come out every generation, which you totally could get away with. I mean, let's be real. There are certain games that you mean to tell me if they dropped a Bloodborne remake every generation, people wouldn't eat it up? Like, oh, with the new 6 graphics or blah blah blah, and it actually looks, substantially better. It's like, yeah, it's like you're saying, you have a free money making machine that is also just a great way to tie into what Adrian was saying, preserve the history of your games. Like, you have games that are just stranded that you won't put on PlayStation Plus on the streaming for God only knows what reason. You just blatantly ignore everything. You don't talk to anybody. You don't say anything. And then you fail consistently. It's like, I don't like what I'm seeing personally. Like,
you have a blog, you have a podcast, and you don't utilize the core mechanics that you can utilize those with. Like,
Right.
Bring on some devs onto that podcast. I used to listen to the PlayStation podcast, and then it just became like ads for the game, like a major game that just released or is coming out. I'm like, that's cool. Like I understand why you're doing that, but I don't want to listen to a podcast that's just you fluffing up the next Wolverine. Like bring on some devs to talk about their process and the cool stuff. Like that interests me. And then maybe the next one bring up what I talked about a couple minutes ago, like what you guys are looking into, some cool projects that you might not be able to announce, but you can allude to and generate some hype for. Anything.
Right.
You don't do anything with your public other than announce new hardware that you want us to pre-order, or an ad for some speakers that may or may not sell well. Okay.
God have mercy. And that's like that's the thing, man. Is it's like just I feel like during PS3 and PS4, and even early PS5, I would say there was a roadmap, a vision. You know, now it's like, okay, every 6 months we're like, is there anything coming out in the fall? And then they drop like a state of play, and it's like, oh, here's this one thing, and I guess you just have to kind of hope you're into that thing. And then, okay, maybe I'll check it out again in February. Hopefully something comes out, because I'm looking at everything I'm excited for. The one thing that's a Sony game is Wolverine. Everything else is third party. Everything. And I'm not saying it needs to be nothing but exclusives, but if your entire games as a service thing failed, and then you're doing this because you're stating that, story mode games aren't selling as much because that's just where people are playing now, what's the game plan? What's like, okay, that's fine. Are you going to continue with the games as a service, or what's the anything?
And the sales of Yote prove that single player aspect false as well.
Right.
It's sold
exactly
as well or even better than Tsushima did in the same time frame. So
right.
the audience is there and willing to buy it if it's a good product.
Yep.
We don't know what products are coming or that are being worked on to get us hyped to then spend the money on said product. So
which is what's circling me, but which is why it goes back to what I said at the beginning. I'm worried they've lost the plot. And it's not to get I don't know what the word would be here, but I think you gotta get some Japanese guys in there, man. I think you gotta get some Japanese guys running the place.
I know I said that in a group chat with you guys. Like I think we need to flip flop the headquarters again. Like they moved it to Cali, and I think they proved that not to be a good idea.
Everything that goes to California just slowly but surely rots away.
And then Herman's European, isn't he?
Yeah.
Herman's European, so it's like, it's just such an ironic thing that even just as us normies, we see the Western gaming industry going down and the Japanese going up. And then you guys were like, yeah, put the market over here. It's like, why would you do that?
At the time, I understand, because the Japanese gaming scene was kind of on the downturn, and a lot of the Western ones were picking up pace and making a lot of money. So I guess I understand that.
When did they do that?
What's that?
Sorry to cut you off. When did they do that?
I'd have to look up when they made that switch.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on the year, but the PlayStation UK was really big in the PS2 era. So I understand the push to a more Western focused viewpoint, but proof is in the pudding. Like, look at what's going on now. It's not
Straight
good.
up.
Once again, sunk cost fallacy type of thing, where it's like, oh, we put all this money to make this new headquarters. It's like, okay, well, now's the time to fucking accept that is no longer viable and move on. How much longer are you going to waste time and money in essentially this part? It's like, if it's more profitable, it's like flipping. A lot of people used to switch cable services. It's like once the bill got too high, you switch over. It's like, oh, but I'd have to go through all this time and this and this. And it's like, well, before you know it, you spend an extra $500 because you didn't want to switch over. It's the same kind of thing where it's like, oh yeah, it takes so much time. It's like, yeah, but if you did it now, you would be good. If you did it now, you'd be fine. You'd lose a little bit, but ultimately the profitability of seeing a resurgence in your company would I would wager would be substantially higher than whatever cost it took to switch the headquarters over to begin with.
Yeah. There's nothing really else I can say. It's super shitty. It's add them to the list of devs that didn't need it to happen in a time where it's the worst time that it could happen. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's all I have to say on that.
Hashtag make Sony Japanese again. And I mean that to my core, dude. It just ain't work.
There's a cultural barrier, which I agree wholeheartedly with Vaughn. But I think you should switch with the industry. Like, as times change, move it to wherever, the times are most profitable. But ultimately, like right now, I feel like we are in a stage of, and the word apathy comes up a lot, but I think there's comfortability that is like this Western style of making games. And then I think the Eastern, obviously it's everywhere, but it's a very Eastern philosophy of like fucking putting out product, working. I feel like there's a lot of almost people pleasing going on, where over there it's cutthroat, not in a slimy sense. And I'm sure some shit does go down, but it's like, if you make good things, then you go to the top. It's very meritocratic.
Yeah.
It is your production determines your value here.
It's almost like what it's supposed to be. Like,
right.
You're the best, you go to the top.
Right. I'll put it. Yeah, exactly. I'll put it this way. If like the other studios you mentioned were pulling that shit in a Sony that was ran by an Eastern company, Bluepoint wouldn't have got cut, because everybody else the fat would have been getting trimmed this whole time, and the finances probably would have been correct. Bluepoint, they would have been like, they would have been schwack. Not you though. Move to the side. Schwack.
I wonder if we'll ever see it ever happen, but let's just take, because Herman's in charge of PlayStation Studios, right? And then who's the CEO right now? Is that the Japanese guy?
They just announced the person that's going to be taking over for the one that was filling in. I'd have to look it up.
So let's just say Herman or any of the CEOs. Once again, I wonder if we would ever see something like this, where Herman, dog, there's no way around this one, man. That's your fault. No matter how you cut it, you were the guy in charge. It's like the buck ended with you. It's your fault multiple times now, because apparently Concord was him. That was something he believed in. He thought somehow Concord was going to be like Star Wars. Dog, you're crazy. That's just radicalism.
I mean, it's like Star Wars now. It's fucking
yeah, I mean, I guess he's right. It was like Star Wars, complete boof. But like, I wonder if we'll ever see the day where a CEO or a head somewhere goes, you know what? I was actually saving my money in case we hit this moment where I realized I'm actually not cut out for the job. So instead of cutting this studio, I'm going to step down. That would be so honorable and respectful. But it's like, so you're just going to keep cutting people, even though they don't deserve it. And I get it, business, blah, 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 money. It's like, when are we ever going to get to a point in the culture where we stop fighting horizontally and we fight up?
Well, the problem.
You made the bad decision. Why is someone above Herman not being like, yo, you made the final call multiple times now?
Yeah. The problem's nepetism. That's exactly what I was just saying about. It's not a meritocracy. It's not a meritocracy.
Yeah.
The people that are becoming, not that, maybe I could be wrong, but just from observations being made with my own two eye holes, it is people that don't deserve, but for the most part, don't deserve these positions, and in many cases not qualified for these positions, getting these positions. And my thing is, you could say, no, it's not nepotism. It's like, okay, well, then you explain to me how someone who is underqualified and incapable of doing a job gets a job at the top. At the top. This isn't a fake it till you make it. This isn't I took a couple fucking, C++ classes and then lied and said I'm a programmer and then got in at the bottom rung and then was able to kind of fucking worm my way around until I figured things out. No, this is somebody who has taken entire control of the company. It's like that someone that's underqualified and underskilled that doesn't get that position without somebody putting them in that position, and they don't keep that position while actively failing on a massive scale without somebody saying, well, let him cook a little bit. Let him, he's a nice guy. We hang out, play some golf every once in a while, let him hang out. It's like, no, get the fuck out of here. You can either step down of your own accord, and that is the respectable way to do it, to say, hey, I'm gonna step down, or I will fire you. I will send you packing. So you can either leave with severance, or you can get fired, and I will throw your ass out of the top of this building.
Yeah, it's just such a lame power dynamic. It's like the devs constantly have guns to their head, constantly, and management seems to never do. I mean, how does Phil Spencer last this long? Like, dude, any of us, let's go to work and fail for 10 years. We're not going to make it a week. We're not going to make it a week.
I was going to say, I couldn't fail for
a couple days. Like, you're going to get cut. You failed for a decade. That's not even reality. You're operating in something, like you're saying, nepotism, something fake, like whatever it is, which is why it's like, then I'm taking it to the next step up. Why are you dummies allowing this to happen to your company? What are you doing? So let's go above Herman, whoever the CEO is. Let's go above that. Who is like Sony? Hello, Earth to Sony. I don't know if PlayStation to Sony is not Xbox to Microsoft. Y'all need PlayStation. Right. Wake up.
Yeah.
It's serious with PlayStation. I don't know, man. I absolutely adore PlayStation to my core, which is all this is coming from love. But I worry for them. I worry for them right now, and I have for the last handful of years, where it's like, who's in control right now? Because it doesn't feel like the right people are in control.
Too complacent.
Yep. Yeah. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if they fuck up, then fuck them. That's what it's going to have to come down to. I have steeled my soul and become heartless due to industries abroad, whether it be television, movies, comics, whatever. It's been demonstrated that sometimes it is, and I know I've mentioned it quite a few times, but it's that sunk cost fallacy. I have spent many, many moons of my life enjoying content, and then I spent many more additional moons that I shouldn't have, swearing to myself that it would get better, and it didn't. And so I wasted time. So now I'm quick to cut it off. I'm quick to cut it off right then and there. I'll give you a little bit of leeway, but if you don't keep on performing, I will drop you like a bad habit, because I'm not going to put myself through it and watch you spiral while dragging me through this spiral. I have other shit to do. I have other options.
Yeah, especially when there's so much other good stuff. That's like the main thing.
I hope they get it together, but if they don't, then it's going to be fucking sayonara. But that's all I got on it.
Same.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that one there, Chief. But all right, any last words from you fellas? Obviously, check the socials, all that, please. I hate to be the YouTube people, but like, subscribe, and share to whoever. Force it on people.
Smash that notification bell.
Go to family events and just put it on the TV. Just don't even say a word. Just go ahead and put it on there. Just let it run.
Grandma loves us.
Like I said, roll her right in front of the TV. She can't do anything about it. Hide the remote. Put it on a shelf or something.
Lock the wheels.
There is a loop function on YouTube, so just loop that bad mamma jamma. We'll make a playlist of this, and you could just loop the whole playlist. So, but yeah, no, that's all I have for this episode 19 of the Redacted Roundtable podcast. I have been your host for tonight, Adrian,
Brandon,
and Vaughn.
You folks have a lovely evening. We are signing off.
Take care, y'all.
Goodbye.
For the Emperor.